Hey guys and girls, it's Blackjack with 396 Guitars. We have the jazz bass neck back on the bench. We're doing the fret leveling. The frets have been replaced. Check the previous videos, of course. We have fixed up the fret ends, but we still have to do the fret leveling. We're going to start with 100, then go to 100, 240, then 320. These frets are a little bit harder than the regular kind of frets I usually use, but we're going to get them leveled, and that's the next step. And then, of course, after that, we have to crown them. So I'm going to show you the first step. I'm going to go through 3 sandpapers on this. As usual, we mark the frets, and then we sand, and when all the marking is gone, we mark them again and then sand again and so on until we get to where it's time to crown them. So let's get to work. So Fret Guru, that's my new favorite little company, sanding block, fret sanding block. It's a little bit longer than the one that I used on the Paul Stanley Iceman. I prefer using the longer ones. The only reason I used the short one in that video series is to show that you can do that at home, and you only need the little one if you take time and are careful. Now, we have already marked. It's hard for the camera to pick that up, but I marked it with black marker, every one of them. And the idea is that as you're sanding along, we're going to go up and down the board. The marker tells you that when the marker disappears, you've already cut off that amount of fret. Now, these are brand new frets, so we're going to do a 3-step process. These are not, frets that have been living on a guitar for, 40 years or 20 years in this case, 25 years. So here we go, and you go slowly up and down the neck. Let the sandpaper do the work. Once in a while, stop and look at what's happening on the board. You can see where these were probably high frets down here. These are low frets. Remember, these are all brand new frets. That was a low fret. It's already cleaned off. You just kind of keep at it until all the marker is gone from the top of the fret. Color still showing, that means that's a really low fret. We got some low frets down here, so we're pretty much got it up to here. There's a low fret right there. These are some low frets down here. That guy does not want to cooperate right there. That's a low fret. And that one. the camera is picking up, you can see all the sandpaper dust that's coming off. But that fret right there is lower than the frets on either side of it. And you have to keep going until you get it down. I can start to see some flat spots, and that's what we're looking for. Just started to pick it up. Finally. So you know that fret was lower, and that means all of these frets next to it have to get down to where that fret was. That fret might have been thicker than the rest of them, or it didn't fit down in the slot. Finally, it got to them. Just ever so slightly, it's still showing a little bit there. It took it off, and that sandpaper is done. You can see this is some sandpaper and it's some fret material, and that's what we're looking for. Put on the vacuum cleaner, hit mute on your headphones. Let's just take a look at this. This is such an abrasive process, but you have to do this when you put new frets in, and they're all starting to show the flat spot on the top. Some of them are flatter than others, some of them not as much. Like this one that we knew was a low fret because the sand block was not hitting it. Now we're going to hit it with 2 more sandpapers, and what that's going to do is clean up a lot of this. And we're going to mark it again, and then we're going to sand it again. So stand by while I trade out my sandpaper. This is sticky back sandpaper. You just peel it off, bang, bang, boom, and you put a new one on, and you go from there. So stand by. So a word to the wise, you peel the old sandpaper off. If it doesn't come off super clean, make sure that you get all of the glue off of there, because what's going to happen is when you put that new sandpaper on there, if there's a piece of glue stuck on the block, the bar, it can actually change the way that you're sanding the frets down. So we cleaned it off with a little alcohol swab or use Goo Gone or whatever, but you want a completely clean surface when you start. So we started with 100 grit, we're going to 240 grit. So far I like what I'm seeing. We're going to put the sandpaper on, then we have to remark the frets. Got the new sandpaper on there, and we have to remark the frets. And this is always fun. I'm going to put an X right there because I know that one was low and that one was low. And some of these frets are flatter than others, but that's the idea of leveling. And when you sand it, the ink disappears and you know you've gone as far as you can. I may only use this second sandpaper. I think we're going to be okay after that. I'm pretty sure I can get a crown on these now. Boring. Yeah, it seems these ones down here are just a little lower. They seated lower in the fret slots when I installed the new frets. We got to get those just as flat as the rest of them. That's key. It's critical. And here we go. So this is 240 grit. And we're going to start at the bottom. That was some tedious work, isn't it? Sounds horrible. Try to be mindful to, follow. Don't just stay right in the middle. You got to kind of go around the radius of the neck. Make sure that all of your marker is off of the edges, not only in the center. Like there's some right on the edge, some on the edge, so that everything is getting leveled equally. side did. It's looking pretty good. All the marker is gone except for right there. We might have a high fret right there, or a low fret, I should say. Sorry. Let's clean this off. I don't know why that's responding that way. Sorry about that, headphone users. So far, I like it. It looks pretty good. Got nice flat. Let me put on my bionic eyes and walk at this right. You only get one shot at this, so make sure that you're getting a flat fret on top. Right there. Don't dig on that. Right there. And right there. This fret is not cooperating. And this fret. They're starting to, but so far, it doesn't look too bad. What we're going to do, just for giggles, to see what happens, is fret rocker it at this juncture. Some guys might disagree with this, but we have flattened all the top of the frets. Right there. It's not enough to get in a twist over. If you can get through a fret rocker at this juncture, there's no need to go any further. And I know I had a really bad one here before I did all of this. I know I had one that was popping up and I had to actually glue it in. And that one's behaving. Out of 22 frets, I only had to glue one of them in. And here's where our problem children are, down here. And they are all responding well. Oh, there we go. That's a low fret right there. That's either a low fret or this one is a high fret. And that's definitely rocking. Yep, we need to sand down here more. Everything up here is copacetic. Let's see if we can't get this leveled out down here. Tedious? Yup, you bet. So we had problems right in this area. And right there where it was telling us we had a high fret, it is now leveled. Must have been inadvertently I was putting more pressure as I pushed the beam that way. And I can't say it enough, you gotta put equal, and I did it myself. Yeah, we got them. I'm going to do one more pass here. There was one that was just giving a little noise. We're going to do one more pass here. I think that is going to get us where we need to be. I'm liking that so far. It's a beautiful thing. So you want to work on guitars? This is how tedious it is. Beautiful. Sorry about the noise with the headphones, you guys. I'm going to vacuum this up. We're going to mark it again, and then we're going to get out the crowning file, and we're going to show you how to do that. I don't need to go to the finishing sandpaper. We've got nice flat surfaces on most of the frets. They're all level. So right now it's about cleaning up the board and crowning them. So stand by. So we marked them. This time I used a red one. I'm going to start at the bottom, or the higher on the register. Crowning file. I'm going to go with medium to large. Large XL. It's a base, so probably, yeah. I'm going to try to do this first one. And just to show you the first one, I'm not going to show you every single one of these. It takes a lot, and it just, you have to get after it, and you have to very meticulously crown each fret. And they're all flat now, so you use the crowning file to bring it up to a peak. Not a perfect peak, but it'll come up and then be slightly flat. Now, the reason for the red marker is it's a little bit easier for me to see, because it's going to be, when you get done, you should just have one little tiny thread red line after you crown that file. So stay with me while I do this first one.
going to take a lot, because these are hard jumbo frets. Yeah, it's going to take a lot. This file is going to load up a lot faster. These are stainless steel, so they're not like nickel. It's getting there. Actually, I have a different file for, try this one for base, because it's even wider than that one. Yeah. I might get some action that way. This is going to take forever. Doesn't that sound great? Yeah, it's going to take quite a while. It's getting it on the edge, but not so much in the middle. So. Well, right about now, I'm cursing stainless steel. I'm getting it there, but it's going to take 100 years to get them all done. They're harder. It's a far denser metal, but they'll last a lot longer. So we're gonna call this one done, because I'm gonna be doing this until the cows come home, crowning these frets. But you get the idea how to level them and look for the mark them, level, make sure that you've got everything, where there isn't any that are too low or too high, and you rocker it, and then you go to the next step. It's Blackjack with 396 Guitars. If you dig what I'm doing, like and subscribe. We're in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. We'll talk soon.